All right. Good morning, Algebra 2. Welcome back to another video with Mr. Mazzola. Happy Neon and Rave Day, right? Me and Kermit are decked out. I hope you guys are too, because even though we're not at school physically, school is in the heart. So make sure you at least get to celebrate this 5-day weekend of court warming and stuff, you know. I know Mr. Spartan was today too, but obviously Kermit already won. Just look at him. Anywho, today we will be talking about, yesterday we did composition of function, just an example. Today we're going to be doing another example with long division, because I know that that's still a spicy topic. And I'm also going to have a question in the Google form I'm giving out. That was kind of cool. That's going to be going over when we want to reschedule the test. Keep it on Tuesday or do Wednesday. I think actually after a 5-day weekend, we probably want an extra day to review and just kind of go over some concepts one last minute. So that way y'all don't forget. But well, we'll figure it out. Some y'all just want to rip the Band-Aid off, and I know, yeah. But also I think success is the best. So, and we're about to hit up a pretty long unit, I think, coming up. It's not as hard as this stuff, but it's just different. A lot of graphing, that's for sure. But I digress. I'm getting off track. So we have this beautiful polynomial function, 8x cubed plus 10x squared minus 12x minus 15, right? Over 2x squared minus 3. Now, I know we only have been dividing by like x to the first powers, but the way long division works, remember, you can only use synthetic division if it's like an x plus 1 or x minus 2, meaning they're linear binomials, right? So first power in 2 terms. And that would be like -1 up top and 2 on the 2 up top. And you can also do that same thing here. You don't have to use long division on this, like 2x minus 3, because you could just put a 3/2 up top, because that's when it's going to be equal to 0. So you could technically still use synthetic division, but that only works for first powers. This is a second power that we're dividing by. So this is a requirement to do long division. And I know we haven't gone through any of these specific examples, but it's the exact same type of thinking that we do for regular long division. So let's knock this out together. So first off, let's set up our long division, meaning, all right, so let's use a different color, actually, may as well. And there'll be 2 questions just like before, spread out throughout the video. So as I'm writing this up on the board, let me just ask you the first question then, and let me think of something cool. One of them is going to be like a normal question, like a math question, and then the other is going to be a silly question, because, you know, I have to do a math question and I have to do a silly question. So let's, as I'm writing this out on the board and setting up the long division algorithm. Speaking of algorithm, we have a new sponsor today for this video. Since in lieu of Rave Day, I think it's best shown that our sponsor today is Raid Shadow Legends. All right, Kermit, roll the ad roll clip during editing. Okay, welcome back. So now, going through the whole thing, we're going to have to do long division. So long division is, well, what do you have to multiply this first term by to get the term, the next term coming up? Whether it be the first one, it's always going to start off with this first term right here. But whenever you're going through the long division, we're going to kind of do the same song and dance with the others. So what do we have to multiply 2x squared by to get 8x cubed? Well, in this case, it'll be 4x, because 4 times 2 gives you 8. And x times x squared gives you x cubed. So we got to put a 4x above the other x terms, meaning the -12x. So now we do subtraction, parenthesis, 4x times 2x squared is 8x cubed. And 4x times -3, make sure you multiply the other term too, is -12x. Now note, typically, you would have to be bringing down this term. However, this doesn't line up with this. So we actually have to account for that. And you can also think of this like a 2x squared plus 0x minus 3. So there's no 0x squared terms, or there's no x squared terms. So we write 0x and then minus 12x. There we go. And now let's account for that. So now these actually end up canceling pretty nicely. And this also cancels too. So now we have to bring down the 10x squared minus 0x squared, or minus negative 0x squared plus it's 0 still. So it is 10x squared. And now we bring down the next remainder, which actually this is a terrible example because there's no remainder here. So now what do you have to multiply? So now we bring that down. So what do we have to multiply 2x squared by to get 10x squared? In this case, it's just 5. So actually, there is no remainder here. Oh, this is nice. So 5 times 2x squared will give you 10x squared. So that checks out nicely. I'll have to look at a different example then in just a second. So, and then 5 times negative 3 is negative 15. So 0, 0. So our answer is actually going to be 4x plus 5 with no remainder. But let's do a different example with a not so clean example. Oh, that's disappointing. Here, let me look in my book of fun stuff and do a different example, and hopefully it does not clean up as nicely. Oh, darn. No, a lot of these are really hard, and I don't want to do them. I'll make you suffer through them with me. And let's just do a classic synthetic division one. How about that? Yeah, let's use classic synthetic division. All right. Speaking of which, here's your first question, and it'll be the fun one. Question 1. So make sure you answer this. What has been your favorite math topic you've learned this year? Remember, you could do a throwback Thursday, right, or flashback Friday. We started off with chapter 1, which is linear equations, like graphing lines and doing systems of equations, right? The second topic we did was think more with function transformations, right? So moving functions left, right, up, and down. The third topic we did was quadratics, I think, unless I'm skipping one. Actually, I think we split that in 2, right? So graphing quadratics and then doing imaginary number shenanigans and quadratic formula. And so far this semester, we've been doing polynomials, right? And this is our second test we're about to do on polynomials. So first one was the one where it's like graphing polynomials and foiling and doing all that crazy stuff. And now we're doing division of polynomials and function composition. So that's question 1. Answer. What's been your favorite math topic you've learned this year? So let's do another classic synthetic division one, and we'll call it a day. And then you'll have question 2 coming up during that, so make sure you're sticking around for that. Let's do, ooh, this is nice and spicy. Might as well do that on a Friday. Negative 2x cubed. So there we go. We're already starting off. Minus x minus 2. And then we want to divide that by x plus 1. All right. How about that? So now, hard part is setting up this matrix, isn't it? So let us, well, in the top left corner, this is going to be a negative 1 because negative 1 plus 1 gives you 0. There we go. And now, setting up this matrix. So we have negative 2 as our first coefficient. And note that there's no x squared term, right? And it goes from x cubed to x to the constant term. So now we have 0x squared. To put a 0 there, because there is no x squared term, and it has to go in order, minus 1x minus 2. And there we go. That's the setup. Now doing that little tic-tac-toe board we love, we now have to bring down that first term. So we start off with a negative 2. So now -2 times -1 gives you +2. 0 plus 2 gives you 2. And then 2 times -1 gives you -2 again. And -1 plus -2 gives you -3. And -3 times -1 gives you +3. -2 plus 3 gives you -1. Or +1. Yes, +1. So now, since we divided, this is going to be 1 power less than how we started. So writing up this polynomial now, this is now a -2x squared because we started off with a x cubed term. And now we do plus 2x. This is the constant term, -3. And since this is not 0, that means we have a remainder. So plus 1 over our initial polynomial. And that's our answer. So -2x squared plus 2x minus 3 plus 1 over x plus 1. And your final question, question 2, is going to be this fun little spicy question for you. So it's going to be a fun one too, because it's not that hard. It's just, and it'll make you feel really smart once you get it. But here is the question for you, question 2. And it's going to be another synthetic division one. So your synthetic division, you're going to have to write me the answer and how you kind of set it up, because it's a fun one. So let's say you have x to the base power -1, and you're dividing that by x minus 1. So give me the quotient, and that will be your question 2, is what's the answer to this question? How'd you set it up, and how'd you get it? Okay, and that's all I got. So enjoy your 5-day weekend, and have a good one. Email me if you have any questions over the weekend, and make sure you fill out the questions, and because it's important, it's for AMI attendance and to figure out when we're going to have our test, Tuesday or Wednesday. All right, peace.